So I'm wearing this shirt in this review for a reason. This movie talked about the kind of movie that this movie is. Silent Hill Revelation is actually a sequel to the film that came out a few years back, which I saw and wasn't very impressed with. I thought it had good production design, some disturbing elements, but overall it was just not a good movie. And when I heard that this new film was a sequel, I was kind of perplexed by that because I don't really feel like enough people have actually seen the original, and I don't think anyone's really going to be thinking that much about the original going into this movie. Now, the first Silent Hill game I played the very first one for PlayStation 1 when it came out when I was a kid, and I was terrified by it. I'll never forget there was this one part where I was walking through this hallway in the game, and I was sitting there in my room. It was dark. It was like 3 a.m. I had this huge window looking out into the forest, okay? There's this little thing that just squeaks in there. And I remember, I was like this little teenage kid and I just jumped out of my seat. I'll never forget that, okay? Now that was one of the first scary games I ever played. And so I appreciate the games. You know, I understand what they're trying to do. And in that sense, I feel good because I can talk to you about this movie sensibly because I understand the source material, just like with Resident Evil. Love the games, don't like the movies. The movie starts out, Sean Bean and his adoptive daughter, they're moving from place to place, trying to get away from police. People are looking for them, and the daughter's having these intense dreams about Silent Hill, and Sean Bean keeps telling her, don't go there. Eventually people from Silent Hill come and take Sean Bean back to Silent Hill, and now the daughter has to go find him along with a hunky schoolboy that she goes to school with. There's like this medallion thing that she has to get another piece for to connect to be able to defeat something. It's basically a video game, which makes sense since the source material is a video game. However, the source material is actually good. This is not a good movie. It has good performances, I will give it that. Sean Bean is not bad in this film. I've always liked Sean Bean a lot. The main girl in the film actually ain't that bad either. Other than that, the performances are kind of weak in my opinion. It has an impressive visual look at times. There are some disturbing elements to the film. There is one good scene with this spider mannequin thing. Other than that, this movie is pretty much a jumbled mess. Now, there's a lot of problems I have with this movie, and let me explain one of them. The darkness, alright? When night falls in Silent Hill and all these things come out and they can kill you. Throughout the entire first act of this movie, the girl has dreams about this place, okay? But you recognize that they are dreams. They cannot interact with the real world. She's just dreaming about these events. Then suddenly there's this character looking for that she's terrified of. He stands around, and to be honest, it was actually getting very comical. I was laughing a lot at some of the scares in the first part of this movie. There's this private eye looking for her. All of a sudden the darkness starts to permeate the real world. Some guy gets his fingers chopped off and everything, and there's these things after her in the real world. Now Sean Bean keeps telling her, don't go to Silent Hill. It's dangerous. Do not go to Silent Hill. You will die. If these things can somehow interact with the real world, what's the point of staying away from Silent Hill? They can come into the real world and screw everything up. And then she actually asks her friend, do you think there's a difference between dreams and reality? Of course there's a difference, honey. One of them takes place when you're asleep and unconscious. The other one happens when you're walking around in the real world. Also in this movie, there's like this one character, this big guy with like this giant sword and this pyramid-like head who follows the main girl around, helping her at times, and you have no idea why. Why is he doing this? Why is there suddenly some epic fight amongst a giant like ring of fire with the main two bosses basically of this movie? There's this strange element where a cameo happens from the first film. She's like, oh, I got the daughter, she's right here, and then Sean Bean hugged the daughter. Okay, oh, she's real, yay. Now, wait a second. How did he suddenly get back in Silent Hill? How's his daughter back? What was that vision? What the hell just happened? Like, I don't understand sometimes what is going on in this movie. It's very, very poorly written. It's absurdly written, actually. So then there's this one famous actor who I won't give away, who has this cameo, and then he turns into some kind of beast or creature or something, and he dies in the most easiest possible way you could ever think of. It's just like, there's your wound right there, okay, shoot it. It's basically like a boss in a video game. Wow. The 3D in the film at times was good, and then at times it was abysmal. Like, there were certain shots where it looked fine, but then there were shots where the glare from lights that were in the background actually overtook everything in the foreground and made my eyes completely cross. I mean, anyone who would have looked at me would have just seen me go, I do these reviews for films like this because they're fun to film, but you guys know this movie, it's not good. Stay away from it, please. If you like the first film, maybe just rent this when it comes out. That's my suggestion. I'm going to give Silent Hill Revelation a D-. Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, if you like this review, then you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.